Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tongue Skritt. I'm your host John, better known as Deo, around Yaks Ben, and we have a fantastic show for you. A small patch lands before World chaos ensues, an update on PvP features, and a bunch of items are returning to the gem store, and much more. But first, let me introduce you to my fellow host. He is moderator over at MMO Champion and host of Zero to Hero on this very channel. With the new PvP season coming, will he be able to walk the talk? My prediction is definitely, maybe. Say hello to Jim.
I'm feeling it's more the maybe side of things, because I've yet to actually finish the PIP reward track for any ranked season I've participated in. And I'm fairly certain I've decayed down to bronze for every ranked season except for one.
Until this season.
Maybe.
Definitely.
Definitely.
And he streams over on Twitch where he answers the age-old question: if there's no downstate in the mist, does that mean there will be an overpopulation of spirits in the mist? Say hello to Age.
No, because we all come back. So it's kind of like just making... It's going to be like if you come into the... It's like you go into the DMV... But you just come in. You don't spend forever in the mist. You spend less time.
I don't know if we want to make a compare. Like, I bet ArenaNet's not happy that we just made the comparison of play World. It's like going to the DMV.
Well, no, it's like it. You know, when you die, you take a trip to the mist, and you come back after like what, 5 seconds? That's when you respawn. But now it's just you reduce the time to travel there by skipping the downstate. Because you're probably going to die, let's face it.
And you end up renewing your license?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just removes part of the process, that's all.
Ah. And she writes for MMORPG.com and also her own site, MMORly.com. With her new guns, her roar is becoming mightier. Say hello to Robin.
Hi.
Wow.
I just wanted to make you make that face, Deo.
Oh man. Is that how it feels to be like a game dev, like hype? All right. Well, let us jump right into it. Last week we were talking about the Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns were on sale. If you were maybe on the fence, or you're one of those people that are like, "Oh, I always catch the sale right after, it's not fair." Well, you're gonna eat your words, because they actually extended the sale, so you can still get it, but you have to be quick, because through Twitter they did say that they're extending it. Remember, the code is welcome to GW2, and that will be effective till Monday, June 11th. At 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So definitely don't have a lot of time, but you know, it is longer than what we had, so definitely good news. Do you know anybody that hit? Because I always see those things every time they say, like, there's always someone that, like, on Reddit or, you know, Twitter or like any social media where it's just like, "Oh, I really want to get into Guild Wars 2, but I'm kind of waiting for a sale." It's like, one just happened, like literally an hour, like it just ended an hour ago. Like, someone always comes out of the woodwork. So hopefully, you know, people will be able to go pick that up and get into the game.
I like the fact that they extended it through the weekend. And I having it end like before a weekend, probably not the greatest idea. Having it end after a weekend is probably better for just a marketing standpoint. So.
Yep.
Also, Arlie, your answer to Food Sniper's comment about at E3, is that like an official?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't think it's likely. I don't know anything.
So for people who are just listening, Food Sniper in chat just asked when will ANET show something at E3 again?
I said never again.
I'll say, when was the last time they, like, wasn't it like basically like the Guild Wars 1 like
when they announced
beta footage?
when they announced guild halls at E3 for
Yeah.
Sorry, that all just meshes together of like, because I think, wasn't that also when they were releasing, like, we then got PAX South and like 5 different like other conventions like added?
PAX South started everything off in January. That's where they announced the expansion. And then they did stuff at PAX East. And then at E3, they announced Guild Halls, and I lost my mind over it.
Well, and we were talking about that last week, but also right before the show, Food Sniper. They're at E3, but they're not doing anything on the floor or consumer facing.
They're not taking part of any of the presentations, and they don't have like floor space to show the game or anything.
And at least that's their official statements if they somehow come out of the woodwork with something. But as of right now, there is no plan whatsoever.
Did they mention they were taking the Griffin with them to do stuff or no?
I don't think. I thought they were referring when they were talking about that. I thought that was something for like a comic convention, but I don't think it was Comic-Con. Like
that was Comic-Con, San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, was it San Diego Comic-Con? Okay,
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was San Diego or one of the other ones.
But I kind of think that they won't because that's kind of participating in hype culture for a lot of E3 stuff. So Mo basically said no more hype culture.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not expecting to see them at a big convention in a like hype generating capacity ever again.
Yeah.
Like they got the Griffin and that was really cool, but that wasn't like kind of like a super high, like that was surprisingly low key despite the fact it was, a 12-foot tall Griffin.
Yep.
But cool nonetheless, which, if you can't make it out to San Diego Comic-Con or another convention, if they do take it to other ones, might as well go get the game while it's on sale and eventually go get yourself a Griffin.
Yep.
And you can ride it all you want until you get knocked off of it. Maybe by a dolphin. Who knows? So next up, we have the June 5th patch. And so it seems like some general stuff, like kind of bug fixes, fixed an issue in which the hero panel would not dynamically update when switching equipment. That's always good to make sure that's...
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, so glad they, solved that. Yeah, it looks like they fixed things with fractals. In raids, Deimos will no longer apply permanent revealed to all players at the start of the encounter. That's good. Items. Queen Bee Infusion. For some reason, I think of Inks when I always see something about these because he likes to be the glittery snowball, like the, disco ball looking thing. But this item's looping audio effect has been removed to address an unintended level of noise. Oh boy, I can't even imagine that.
Do we have the Nick Cage gif? Not the bees.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Leyline infused tool. This item has had its crafting recipe modified to use orichalcum ingots instead of orichalcum mining picks. Oh yeah, I remember making those. Those were kind of annoying to go get.
Yeah.
Especially because it didn't stack. Because I remember we were making them originally for the guild hall, and I think you could get like orichalcum mining picks for karma from like one of the vendors in South Sun. So it's like I basically had to empty out all my bags and was like filled them up one by one. It's like, oh great, I can make like 20. Like fantastic. But so glad they finally made that change. Some profession changes. Is there any ones of major note? I mean,
I think wasn't Sans Savant for Necro one of the major ones because it got skill split.
I think it was just a tooltip issue. So Sans Savant PvE reduced the cooldown of Sandshade by 33%. I think in PvP it just increases the recharge time of the charges instead of reducing the window when you can proc them. That I think the original tooltip was messed up to say that in WW and PvE it did the cooldown and in PvP it did the recharge time.
Oh, okay.
The recharge time is WW and PvP, and the cooldown time is PvP only.
Okay.
This is one of those things where the skill splitting gets a little weird because this is a mechanical skill split instead of a number skill split.
Yeah.
So I can definitely understand why, like, Galgray's update post to the forum notes on this explicitly called out this, like there was a post by itself to call out this change. To say that this is what was happening. We are just updating a patch note because we typed it wrong in the first place. So,
Okay.
Well, yeah, the rest kind of just look like small little bug fixes or tooltip changes. So it's sounds like we're nearing where hopefully you all are happy with your professions, because it doesn't seem like much things are shifting right now. Uh-oh. Which I guess that's the ultimate question, is how does everybody feel with their professions after the balance changes, and now that everything seems like it's starting to settle?
Well, Age is a thief, so I can understand why he's making noises. So,
Poor Age.
Deadeye changes, I think, are still something that thieves are getting used to. It's kind of like, I mean, we all remember how long it took for all the Phantasm changes to shake out for Mesmer, right?
Yeah.
The Malice changes are basically on the same scale. So if I remember correctly, they're still in the same window that it took for Phantasms to get really sifted out to be balanced. So I would expect to see more stuff that's Deadeye specific coming shortly.
What are your thoughts on that, Age?
Well, we'll see. Okay, so the thing is, usually what it takes is usually when it comes out an expansion, I've noticed this now, is that whatever happens for Thief Elite spec, there'll be always complaints for it, and then it'll take about 6 months for it to shake out properly. This time around, it like the 6-month period kind of came as expected, but it didn't work out too well. So now they have to kind of go back to the drawing board, and it's gonna probably pan out over the next 3 months while they try to balance it out. That's my best guess, and then they'll do like subsequent mini patches after that, kind of like what Melthana said about Mesmer. Yeah.
But it seems like chat is happy with their Mirage class, whether it's good or not. That's their class forever, which is a good way to be. I mean,
Mirage is 100% fine.
Yeah, in terms of improving Deadeye gameplay, I kind of understand how people hate that Deadeyes can just mark you, wait forever in stealth, and then just burst you out. That's not fun. I understand that. But right now the gameplay is just too clunky for it to be useful for me anyway. So
any final thoughts on the professions themselves, since like I said, not much has changed? A little
like overall?
Sure.
Well, Ellie's always fine. Warrior seems like in the decent spots. Revenant actually is a lot in a better spot than it was before. Renegade, I think, is just honestly kind of just resided as a PvE type of more PvE oriented, just because it's really hard to use in PvP in World vs. World. With Guardian's in a fairly decent spot. Mesmer's in a decent spot. Necro can use some work here and there. It's so hard to balance Necro. So it's a weird balancing act. Thief Deadeye can use work, and Engineer Condi needs to come back a little, but otherwise I think it's fairly okay. That's just like an overall perspective.
Yeah. Like I said, because we've kind of talked the professions to death. Like I said, this week it was just little tweaks. Like it's nothing groundbreaking changes to any of the professions, it looks like. But
yeah.
All right. Well, let us talk about a little bit of changes in PvP and World v World that they've added. So from the patch, they've added 4 more weapons to the Obsidian weapon set. For PvP, both the Obsidian weapon box and the Mistforged Obsidian weapon box have been added. These new weapons have also been added to the League Weapon Vendor for PvP and the Skirmish Supervisor for World v. World. The new weapon types include the Greatsword, Focus, Longbow, and Hammer. So, I did not see that note until now, so I unfortunately didn't grab photos. But
that's fine. Yeah.
But honestly, they're not super flashy. At least the original, like all the other ones, like it basically is the same weapon with like a red glow on it half the time.
Well, the glow changes color based on the team that you're on.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, that's so if you're red or blue team in PvP, and then if you're red, blue, or green in WvW, it will change based on the team that you're assigned to.
No.
That's the gimmick to them. But to be honest, the weapons are kind of meh to me. To me, personal opinion.
Yeah. But, you know, if you feel differently or maybe you have a look that it works with, do let us know. You know, maybe you got an Obsidian look going on and it works. Which, more power to you. Also, I think probably the biggest thing that came from this patch note that I've seen most people talking about, because I think they hinted at it. I swear we talked about this previously, that they were looking into doing it or something, but it is finally here. The repeatable reward tracks can now be set to automatically restart when completed.
Yay!
How you feel, Mouth-ass?
Praise the sun. Admittedly, I haven't turned it on yet. Look, I had already resigned myself to finishing all of the reward tracks prior to this, and I was hoping that because I think somebody in chat during Zero to Hero at one point in time told me that if you eventually get all of the reward tracks finished, it will rotate between your current one and the last one you completed.
Oh,
so
interesting.
That was kind of a thing that I was kind of hoping on, to eventually cycle through all of the reward tracks and just go from there. But now that this is a thing, it's like, honest, I think the biggest thing is going to be for when holidays are out, like when the Winter's Day reward track is up, the Mad King one, the Adventure Box one. That's going to be what people really care about, because when the seasonal reward tracks are available, that's the one you want to gun for, right?
Yeah.
So when you finally, like, now you don't have to waste points on anything else other than that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's what like QED and a lot of people were saying in chat. Is just like, you know, you're not wasting the points or going into a track that you didn't really, not that you don't care about it, but it's not the one that you want to go after, or maybe is in your top 3 or something. It's like, it always seems to pick that one where it's like, why would I want that one?
The system really wanted me to finish Crucible of Eternity for some reason for the longest time.
Yeah.
Apparently that's the most important one.
But so yeah, I mean, fantastic they finally added that in. I mean, it will be great because, you know, we'll be talking about it a little bit later, but the little World v. World event is going on. But before we talk about that, season 12 is starting soon, so when you're trying to make it to the top ranks, you don't have to worry about your reward tracks. So season 12 starts soon, but season 11 account sharing penalized. So they did announce that PvP League Season 12 will begin on June 12th and will end on August 8th. Though there was a message from the competitive team, after a thorough investigation, we identified several players who shared accounts during Season 11. Another scandal.
I'm shocked.
Yeah. Before I even look, so any predictions for anyone out there? Slap on the wrist, or are they actually doing something?
Well, it depends on who they were too, like first offenders, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's find out. We have given each of the involved accounts 3 months of dishonor and have removed them from the leaderboards. Additionally, we've rolled back the accounts to a state prior to the end of the season. As a reminder, sharing an account and match manipulation are against the Guild Wars 2 rules of conduct and or the Guild Wars 2 user agreement. It's sad that they have to keep saying that.
But it's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like most people know that this is going to be the punishment if they get caught. So I don't know how it's working for deterrent. Like, you know, if some people are not doing it because of this, we would never know that because they're not doing it. But at the same time, it's clearly not a deterrent to some people. So,
Yeah.
Because it's just an account ban.
Yeah.
It's not a person ban. This isn't related to an individual. So they buy another account or make a free one because free doesn't stop you from getting in.
Yeah.
And they just do it again. Because when good enough that you can win trade, it doesn't matter what specs you have available to you. You can just go do the thing.
What do they get out of it? Like
a title and money.
Okay.
Their account rolled back.
It's I don't know, like having one of the ranks, I think it's the top 250, gets you a title.
Okay.
At the end of the season. That is literally the only reward you get for end of season.
Okay.
I said at the start of the show, I have
decayed. Terrible.
I've decayed to bronze every season but one since I think for the past 2 years. I have been like, because Arlie was there for the start of Zero to Hero. She hadn't played a ranked match for literally almost 2 years.
Yep.
We were discussing that when she came back onto the show on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Come check us out.
Nice.
Yeah, I try.
Right here.
The system, the reward system needs more work.
Yeah.
Like, I realized, like, so there was a video, and I'm going to be doing like a big long series of tweets on this because I need to, like, I have thoughts and I need to get them out onto the internet so people can tell me I'm wrong. But there was a wonderful video done by Extra Credits on YouTube, just I think during the last 2 days, about reward systems on ladders. And one of the things that's a problem is you fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. You get a series of losses. You fight and fight and fight and fight and fight, and then you never hit like that next rank because you hit where your skill stops, like where your ceiling is. So you have to get better, and then your progression slows down to a crawl.
Yeah.
And at the moment, your actual rank in PvP, like bronze, silver, gold, whatever, doesn't actually matter.
Yep.
Because at the end of the season, only the top 250 people really have anything to show for it other than a badge next to your name.
Well, so, I mean, what color you are depends on like how people are going to bitch at you for sucking.
People will bitch at you regardless.
Yes, but the like, lower you are.
the funny thing is, like, I watch a bunch of League of Legends streamers, and there are people that do like Smurf
the exact same.
And as they start a new account and they level it up and they go through ranked, and it doesn't matter what rank they are, they always bitch that you're the next rank down. Like they call you a bronze scrub, a silver scrub, a gold scrub. Every tier up you get, you're a scrub.
That's amazing.
And they call the people, it's just the next tier down. So there's going to be people in Legendary that call you plat scrubs.
Yeah. You remind me of this one YouTuber named Ragtag who does a video series called Toxic Coaching. And basically he's just like, he's giving advice, but, you know, doing it in a 18 plus way.
Oh,
yeah. So it's like, you think you're gold. No, you're a silver. Yeah, so it's always one step below. You're actually right.
That's just how it works. You're always a scrub of the next rank down. And it, like, if they want to yell at you for something, they're going to yell at you.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't matter what rank you are. But
I was gonna say, you saying that kind of reminds me. I've always heard that from like Rooster Teeth. Like Bernie Burns would always talk about that in gaming. It's so true that it's like if the person's experience is underneath of you, it's, you know, they're scrubs, losers, noobs, blah blah blah. But if anybody's ever better than you, oh, these guys have no life. They're losers. They're like, it's like, yeah. What?
They're no life losers who do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If they're worse than you, they're a scrub and they need to learn to play. Zodwolf, that depends on what you like to play. I think all of the elite specs are played relatively evenly across the board. both the Path of Fire and the Heart of Thorns ones. And it depends on the game content that you want to play that really changes that metric. But
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say that's kind of a tough question, and for people that may be just listening and maybe can eventually voice their idea, they're asking basically what the least played elite spec, but still interesting. And I don't know if you're coming from the perspective of like other MMOs where it's like, what's the one that's going to get me into dungeons or raids or, you know, content faster? Like, should I be a healer? Should I be a tank? Should, you know, that I really don't ever really see that here. In like, maybe in the raiding scene, if there's pugs, you're probably going to get a better shot at being a healing type or a tanking type. But
Zed is probably right. Renegade is probably the absolute least played elite spec.
Yeah.
So Path of Fire elite spec for the Revenant class.
Yeah.
The other thing is like, I don't know, it's hard to, especially if you're a new player at the game, like it's hard to really know to pick something because like everything is so different. There's the way things work. I always tell people just pick whatever profession sounds interesting to you and then level. And then when you're done with that, especially, I think you still get an 80 boost when you buy Path of Fire.
yeah, you get, I think, one for each.
Yeah. Once you feel comfortable with whatever you're playing, if you wanted to try something else, boost that because you don't want to boost your first character because that's just going to be overwhelming with all the systems and everything. And by that point, you have a better idea of what the different game modes are and all of that stuff. Also, it's raid focused, but Guildmag also just posted a guide for choosing a profession. Like I said, it's raid focused, but it also still gives a good overview of what each profession generally excels at, which would give a good starting place for thinking about it.
And yeah, if you're unsure, can you do it with the elite specs, but go into like PvP and at least play around with like the flavor of it?
Would be able to go into PvP and slot the specs because you get everything unlocked in the Heart of the Mist. So you can mess around with like the combat entities and the skills and stuff.
Yeah, because I was thinking of like, you know, chat's recommending like Deadeye or Renegade are kind of like probably the least played. With like Age was saying earlier, with Deadeye, it seems like it's so mechanically different in the sense of you're at least if you're using the rifle and stuff, you're supposed to be like a sniper type, but I don't, for me, this was my biggest worry with the Deadeye was it's trying to be like a sniper shooter type thing in an like it's even like locking you down like into position. It was my one kind of worry of the Deadeye, and
it's supposed to change the way you play. Like it's supposed to, and I agree with that. It's just that it's hard to play that style right now with the way rifle is. That's all.
And that's the biggest thing is going off of what Robin's saying is pick the one that sounds cool to you, because with the elite specs, it really seems like they're trying to do what Guild Wars 1 was, where you could kind of pick the secondary profession of another one. So, you know, what is it? Guardian gets mantras, which kind of always been like the mesmer thing, or like, so it's like, it's almost like they're kind of doing the dual professions that were in Guild Wars 1, but in a slower, more structured pace. So eventually you'll probably get that flavor of one of the other professions in your profession if it's not already there. Possibly, if they continue to go this route. But hopefully that answers your question. But where were we at? Oh yeah, we're talking about season 12 and all that stuff. The being penalized.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's not, you know, we'll see what happens with season 12. Hopefully we go through one season where no one's, you know, gets in trouble. But
won't happen.
Yeah. But there are some PvP features in progress. The PvP team went to the forums and gave us kind of a list of some of the stuff that they are currently like looking into, working on, shift. They did say, keep in mind that plans change, priorities shift, and projects always take longer than we'd like. So some of these improvements are many months from completion, and some may be removed if our priorities shift. So before we go into that, definitely keep that in mind. I feel like, what were we talking about? Why they have no like 2018 like roadmap, and we were always saying like how people, I think they got burned by the community of saying like, oh, we want to do legendary crafting, and it was like we had to scrap it for now because it wasn't working, and people were outraged. It's like now they always have to have these clarifications of like, things might change, so just. But
I kind of like this plan. Like they have a checklist. These are the things we want to do. They have no dates on them until they actually push it live.
Yeah.
And then like strike through date. We're done.
Mm-hmm. So first up, they listed the automated tournaments. They want to do Swiss style tournaments, increase tournament capacity, special tournaments, and on-demand tournaments post Swiss. So, do those all sound great? Are you worried at all?
Allowing more teams to participate is always, makes things a little bit more interesting. Yep. Allows more people to actually participate instead of just select few, I guess. Special tournaments would be kind of interesting because I don't know what kind of rules you could apply. That, you could probably do like, I don't know. You can't have like UGO does. You can't have the same spec on the team. Like you would have to have like, for example, a warrior, a spellbreaker, and a berserker. You can have like 2 berserkers, things like that. And on-demand tournaments could be fun for specialized to combine with the specialized tournaments.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts in the automated tournament section? Next topic they had was maps. So they want fixing broken nav mesh and basically the invalid path to target kind of stuff that you might see. They do say this will be an ongoing task. Though they did say, post on the forums if you find an area where this happens in a PvP map. So these are PvP specific things, remember. So, that's always good. Like, we always say if you come across a bug or anything like that, definitely, let them know. That's the only way they're going to fix it. I mean,
the places where I can't teleport as classes that could blink, that's a broken nav mesh. You need to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm helping you, Age.
Sorry, I saw you tweet there, and I'm like, what? Okay. Anyway, we're talking about invalid path to target. Yeah, that's freaking annoying. I was about to swear there, but yeah, I hate when I actually use my short bow and it tells me I can go there and it tells me I can't afterwards, and then I die. That's not fun. So I always kind of like double tap just in case, which sucks because you waste endurance initiative when you do that. But yeah, that'll be very, very good once they actually fix that. And that doesn't just pertain to Thief, other blinks, other movement skills, things like that. So,
and apparently they're also working on a Sura Arena 2v2. Are you restricted to just being an Asuran? Like,
no, like I think it's an Asuran themed arena.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's interesting.
It looks kind of like Radisson or something like that.
Like I think it's been in the game files. I'm pretty sure that I don't know what the map exploration tool is. I can't remember the name right now, but Wooden Potatoes has done a video on it.
A map made out of Asurans.
Oh man,
that sounds amazing.
Dark. That's
that would be the most annoying map because they'd probably just be talking the whole time.
Yeah.
That sounds.
It'd just be insulting you every time you die.
You're dumb and gonna leave a stupid dumb corpse.
Oh great, you fell on me. Yeah. There's also gonna be an unnamed 2v2 map, so that'll be cool. A new desert themed conquest map. They've already completed Skyhammer map adjustments, and they've basically completed the PvP lobby stuff that they set out for, which was expanded the free-for-all arena and also added chairs. So
Chairs.
woo.
I've still not sat on a chair yet.
Wow.
I have no
What are
reason
you doing,
to.
right
Age?
now? What are you
I
doing?
have no reason.
Like, are
to
you
RP.
even playing Guild Wars 2? Like, seriously.
How many legendaries do you have?
You're not sitting in chairs. It doesn't count.
I could sit in a chair with my shiny legendary.
You could, but you haven't.
Multiple shiny legendaries.
You haven't.
Your legendary armor with a
Oh snap!
Would I stroke my legendary arm? I would just like this.
Can we stop talking about stroking?
You are now.
Stroke the twilight, Malthanis.
Speaking of Twilight, that'd be a reward that you would get, and they've just with this last patch quickly getting away from that.
Run away!
They released the third part of the Obsidian weapon set. So Group 1 was released December 12th. Group 2 was released 3/27, and Group 3 this past update. So we're clear with the Obsidian weapon set. So yay! PvP armor set 2.5.
I remember them talking about that a little bit. I don't know if that was just an augmentation or that it was a new set.
I think they're just trying to get something that's equivalent to the WW stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Nice. Torment first place gizmos. They completed that. So, which, yeah, how's to say they are a reward, but I don't know if that's.
Honestly, I kind of wish that those things would be tied to the titles. Like if they're going to hand out titles for something, and like they're super rare titles, tie an effect.
It kind of makes sense too. I don't know. After all the match manipulation stuff, those kind of just lost their appeal for me, I guess. I don't know.
And then the quality of life stuff, team health bars, which yes, we've talked about in the past. Standard friendly models, repeatable reward tracks. About that. Fix season end date and time display. So.
Was it not showing properly?
I think they're
You mean like a fixed?
It says season ends on X date, but I think they want to change it to like season has this much time left in it.
Oh, that would be more useful. That's good.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
That's the only thing I could think of that they would want to change.
Hey, you said that's what it's going to be, so now if it's not, I'm going to angry tweet them.
Malthanis said you guys are going to do this.
I don't have any kind of pull. You know this. If anything, you've talked to them more than I ever have. You would have more pull with them on that.
Oh, surprisingly, we don't have it listed here, but what was it? Friday launched their new World v World.
World v World Death Match.
Death Week.
Yeah.
Basically Death Week. So how it's working is it's only for this next
Friday to Friday.
Yeah, Friday to Friday. And basically there's no downstate. So yeah, Sniper Week. Yeah. So if your character goes down, you're dead. Like there's no reviving. Well, I guess if you're out of combat, then people can revive you then. But there's really no help. So yeah, it's gonna make big battles pretty interesting. That's probably gonna dwindle.
I was actually having a conversation with Aaron about this. This is why I tweeted. I brought Age into the conversation in the middle of the show. This should make Zerg v Zerg fights more interesting. This is the reason I played my Necromancer last 0 to hero, because if everything instantaneously dies, how much life force do I have?
You basically become Doom.
Yeah. The only issue I have with it is I don't know if people are really altering their playstyle to suit Like you kind of expect people to be like, hey, build a little tankier so you don't just immediately die. Hey, we have to be a little more tactical with how we do things, so we don't die.
Yeah.
QED saying people are so damn scared that he can just one push everything because they die. The only problem I have is since it still uses the PvE stat sets, like it uses all of your gear, unlike the more controlled environment of PvP, thieves are way too strong. Because the hop in, you're dead, I'm stealthed and gone.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. I'm running a Necro, I'm playing a Reaper. My armor and weapons are soldier's gear, so I'm not squishy. My trinkets are berserkers. I hit 10% on a thief burst combo, and we're talking less than half a second amount of damage.
Yeah.
And I dropped to 10% health. Literally, the only reason I was alive is because I'm running a full set of soldier gear.
What were you fighting exactly?
I was just a thief popped in. And
regular thief, Deadeye, Daredevil?
I have no idea because he was gone the second he
Yeah, he didn't even see what happened.
He used steel to teleport to me, so it was either a Daredevil or a base thief. But he just literally in a half a second, that so much health gone.
Probably Daredevil. He probably ran full berserker because he's not going to stick around if you don't die right away.
Yeah, but that's the problem is you're going to have thieves who are like stealth. You're dead. Stealth, you're dead. And it's just, it's one of those things where that's about the only problem I have with it is super, super glassy people and really safe burst builds, because that's one of the things that I've always seen is a thief can go in and get out and be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say basically, in Zerg fighting, if I'm playing a Dire Pistol Thief, I'm looking for people who are at half health, and I'm just jumping those people. So I'll do a Shadow Step into a Heartseeker Steel, and then just put that person in down state, and then back right off. And that kind of tempts people to res and kind of distracts them from their main job. If I'm just playing I'm playing staff thief and I'm just jumping people in the front line. It's fun. But yeah, they're going to probably see a lot of berserker thieves just trying to one-shot people left and right, which, it actually rewards them because, downstate. But I think same thing kind of with some Mesmers. I think Mesmers will try to do that as well. But
yeah, I was thinking about jumping into it for a bit, but I want to do it on my Necro. But the thing is my Necro's gear is trash because literally the only thing I use my Necro for ever is structured PvP. So I've never gotten her really good armor at all because it hasn't mattered. And the one profession I have really I have my elementalist is full ascended. My ranger is mostly ascended. Her gear isn't 100% ascended, but I don't know.
Your elemental is glassy Condi though.
Yeah, that's my issue. There is my elementalist. She puts out condition, and she's pretty glassy. So I don't know how well that would work at all. Probably not well.
Yeah, a lot of people are. From what I heard, a lot of people Zergs are doing pirate ship, which is basically they come across each other and shoot each other from range, and doing that over and over again.
Nice. That's actually kind of funny. I like that.
Because people are afraid to die, but like QED said, since people are so afraid, if you have the confidence to push in, you just push in, you just kill people. It's
interesting.
You just
you play a warrior, you rampage in, and then you bounce.
Why are people afraid to die? Because I don't understand why suddenly not having the downstate makes people afraid to die.
Yeah, because honestly, my experience with the WvW is if you go down in the middle of a fight, you're dead anyway.
Yeah.
People just need to be able to know when to push in, and that's it.
Yeah, I think it's probably just some weird psychological thing that happens with people. Like, you know, you feel like you have a safety net, and now it feels like the safety net is gone. So it's like, oh my God.
I don't know. Inks brings up a good point. It's mind games. Like, you kind of start doing, like, it would make it kind of funny as, like, the two Zergs keep doing the pirate ship, and then your commander's just like, we're going in.
Mm-hmm.
We're boarding them. And then you just suddenly turn for ramming speed.
Yeah. It's interesting how the mind games work.
Yeah.
It's hard. It was hard to read Bick's name because it's in green on my.
I know. I was staring at it, and like the bright green just does not stand out from the background very well on my computer, and I was just like, "What does that say?"
Yeah, I just from what I've experienced in Zerg fights, I feel like if you engage them properly first, and you get the downs, you usually win the fight because you're just going to be cleaving, like the back line is going to be cleaving the downs as your front line keeps pushing the enemy Zerg out. So I feel like fights will be over a lot quicker if you know how to, if you properly engage in that same situation.
That, and Zed brings up a good point, is Scourges and Firebrands. With, like, Scourges can teleport the downstate people to you, and then Firebrands can merciful intervention to just bring people back up. So basically you just got, like, you have 4 or 5 people that are basically your ambulances.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, literally one of your sub squad is nothing but medic Scourges and medic Firebrands, and they're just like, give me the down people, heal the down people, give me the down people. You end up having a few water elementalists in there.
So, but you know, that seems cool, because this 1 week change is changing the play style of World v. World, which, I mean, so I know some people probably don't like it, but it does. Hearing these stories actually makes me want to go and check it out. I mean, because like I've said in the past, my one gripe with World v. World has just been felt like it's based off of the time, you know, the righteous indignation. It's like, basically feels like you're on a merry-go-round, especially if you get in a Zerg. It's just like, go here, you know, everybody does a circle. It's like, oh, we ran into someone, we clash for a little bit, and then we run away. It's like, so I don't know. I like that it's like there is that now risk of, you know, now there is no downstate. I can pick off a couple people maybe in that Zerg, and it lessens that Zerg, like, instead of like, downstate, but now there's a bunch of people, we got to run off, like, we won't be able to finish them off quick enough, type of thing. So I don't know.
I kind of wish they would
experiment.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see them do more of these things, to see like what kind of changes they can make that will change things, and like maybe they'll happen upon something that, like, wow, that changed things in a really interesting way. Maybe we can make that more of a permanent change or something, or play on that, you know.
Or if they get enough of a spike in participation, they could just have a rotating set of events that it's like 1 week on, here's an event, 1 week off, there's no event, another week on, here's event 2. So also, longtime troll, just go in, just go. WvW is a game mode where you just screw it, I'm going in. just Leroy Jenkins in, and just find a commander tag, follow the commander around.
Yeah, I was gonna say, think of the following the commander tag as more like the training wheels, because you can go roaming, but that is more you are on your own or in a small group, so that's where it becomes a little bit more challenging. But in a Zerg, you're pretty much gonna be fairly okay, unless the Zerg's wiping or you get they come out of nowhere.
And Zed also brought up a point about scrappers being made kind of useless because function gyro is basically pointless at this time.
Yeah.
Sorry, AJ, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I was just about to say, World vs. World is pretty, like, without the downstate mechanic, everything else is pretty much the same, except, like, fights probably just go a little faster or a lot more carefully. But every other mechanic is pretty much the same, so you're learning World vs. World at the same time.
Just don't go in with super glassy gear. Have at least a little bit of toughness and vitality, or be really good at popping your defensive skills. Because, like, yeah, sure, I think Ada is saying it's okay that you die, everybody dies. Yeah, it's kind of a thing in WW is the Zerg will push in and either you lose the fight or you win the fight, but either way you can die. That's fine. Just don't get insta-popped by a thief. That's pretty much it. And then get yelled at for not being in TeamSpeak. And then like get laughed at because you're like, I would literally have to install TeamSpeak in order to be on TeamSpeak. And I refuse to put that on my computer.
This show is sponsored by Discord. No, actually it's not. But it could be Discord. No. There are many voice communication, software out there. Just Discord's the best. I'm basically trying to make money so I can use it and go spend it in the gem store.
Yay,
because,
gem store.
Yeah. Speaking of the gem store, thank you to Dolphy. Check out dolphy.net so you can spend your gems more wisely. So first up are basically we only got one new thing this week, and that is the Sun Spear Glider for 400 gems. And if you are hopping into World World, you can in your in your controlled area, you can glide if you have the trait. And I think, do you need hot for that, or is it just based in there since it's part of the?
I think you still need hot.
Yeah,
to
you
glide.
still need
Okay,
hot.
I wasn't sure if it was since it was added as a trait line separately.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't.
It's on sale now, though. So go get it.
Yeah, so definitely go pick it up. Yeah, pick up the game,
cool.
pick up the glider. You're ahead of the game and you're ready for War of the World. So yeah, Sunspear Glider for 400 gems. It does have 2 die channels, as you can see here. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I think you were saying that early, but I cut you off.
Saying it looks cool. It's definitely a cool looking glider, and you can dye it and stuff. So that's nice.
There were a couple people in WW on Wednesday that had it, and it looks pretty good in action. Like it's
Nice.
a pretty cool looking glider.
Yeah, it's nice. It's simplistic, but yeah.
Yeah, I like the look of it, but yeah, I kind of hit that same problem of it's like I have so many gliders. Like
Yeah.
I think so many people. I was talking with one of our guildies, and I was messing with him because we were playing Dauntless, and he's kind of buying like every flare under the sun. Which hey, that whatever. That's
Why not?
yeah, but he was like, well, how many mounts have you bought? Mount skins, and I'm like, I haven't bought any. Like
You haven't?
yeah. Nope. I've come close to some where like I like the crystal one, but I was like so hesitant, and I eventually didn't. And but then he asked how many gliders have you bought, and I was like, well, that's a different story.
Beyond counting, my gliders are like the stars.
Yeah.
3, 4.
So but at this point, it is one of those things where it's like it's harder for me to buy a glider now, just because it's like
I've bought 6, and I've had the black and white wings converted, and then I have the PvP, the fractal one, and the one I got from the pre-sale for hot. So it's, I guess, 7.
Inks, the things you could do with money just from Black Lion keys that you've used. I've seen your videos.
Oh, dear Lord. I saw Hypnotic bought like over 200 keys. I'm like, why?
Who did?
Hypnotic trans.
wow.
Yeah. Like why?
Hey, if that's where you want to spend your money, I'm not gonna begrudge.
I mean, like, sure, yeah, like, but are you trying to get something, or maybe
Might
just
just
being
be-
for giveaways or something?
I mean, I know Inks does it to run the math on a lot of stuff.
And we thank you for your sacrifices, Inks.
I'll say, Inks, you are dedicated to that math.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
you guys want gold. Okay, that's fine.
so bad.
Next in the gem store.
Yeah, a lot of actually returning stuff. So we actually have sales, actual sales, not things that are coming back to be sold, but actually coming back and being cheaper. And my dogs are outraged by it or loving it. I'm not sure. I don't speak dog. So the Copper-Fed Salvage-O-Matic is 560 gems. It's 30% off. Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matic, 350 gems, which is 30% off. You can also get the Season 1 memory box, which is Scarlet versus Lion's Arch for 140 for one box, 10 for 1050, which are 30% off, and the Season 1 memory box Flame and Festival, which once again are 140 for one box, 10 for 1000 or 1000 1000 1050 gems, which is 30% off.
Yeah.
So, I mean, would you guys recommend any of those particular things while I go check on something? Totally unrelated to dogs, but I'll be right back.
I 100% recommend the Salvagematics, especially since they're actually on sale.
Yeah.
If you could get one, I would say copper, though.
Yeah. Those are something that I look at and I'm like, I recognize it's a good deal, but I can never convince myself to buy them for some reason.
They are way more worth it now that they're on sale.
Yeah.
Not just for sale, but on sale. Hashtag just MMO instincts.
How much are they on sale for?
$560 for copper and $350 for the silver. It's 30% off.
Basically, you don't have to buy salvage kits anymore.
Yeah.
Which is a very nice quality of life thing.
I mean, yeah, I've been using Mystic ones for so long because I have so many Mystic Forge stones that it's like an infinity amount, but not having to keep track of how many I have and going to make them every now and again would be nice.
That's slots 1 and 2 of my account slots for inventory. The silver is cheaper. Yeah, the copper is that much more popular because generally speaking, what you do is you use the copper for your fine and masterwork gear, so blues and greens. You use the silver fed for rares, and then you use black lion kits for exotic gear that you actually want the upgrades out of. Otherwise, I think I use the silver on exotic stuff. So exotics, black lion salvage kits are really if you just want you 100% want the upgrade out of something. And at this point, with the black lion goods thing out of the monthly reward, you generally end up having enough black lion salvage kits that you don't have to worry too much about it. I was just getting copper. If you don't want the silver one as well, you can just use a Mystic salvage kit. For me, it's remembering to actually go make Mystic salvage kits. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just slot it beside my copper fed in my shared inventory slot.
Yeah,
make things a little easier.
But honestly, they need to make an unlimited black lion salvage kit and combine them in the forge for a complete salvage-o-matic.
Oh dear Lord. A lot of those.
The perfect some kind of Mystic Forge recipe for a permanent Black Lion Salvage-o-matic kit.
Well, there are still Forge recipes people haven't discovered, so it could be in there.
That would be nuts. I'm not going to lie. But the problem is you'd have to be willing to throw Black Lion Salvage kits into the Mystic Forge.
Yeah, and who knows what else.
I'll do it. I'll see what happens.
Mystic Salvage-o-matic.
Inksomatic.
But
that recipe came with hot. You have to throw various dyes into the forge.
Mm-hmm.
And
no.
they're not sell as many shared inventory slots. I think it would be like another slot for one. Like
sure.
it'd be another item that you would put in your slot. So it's like a guaranteed thing that you
shared slots are just so useful.
A permanent Black Lion salvage kit would in no way impact the sale of shared inventory slots.
Yeah.
In no way. Because that just means honestly that would make people more likely to try and make the Black Lion Salvage-o-matic. Because that would be more slot efficiency for your shared account slots.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're on the wild and you have a exotic, but you want the ectos, but you don't want to put away, but you want the rune, and you have that in your shared inventory slot, that's very useful.
Yep.
Instead of just going back to your bank.
I remember when the shared inventory slots came out, people were like, "That's an outrage! Who needs that?" I was like, "Are you kidding? Really?"
Well, I think the bigger problem I had with it was the cost. But you basically needed to buy the highest package tier.
Yeah.
In order for them to really be worth it.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's a huge quality of life increase. So,
and Inks has a point. You can fit your spoons up there.
spoons.
So is this, should we call you Spoon Man?
Mr. Spoon Man.
That's Scat Man.
Yeah, I know. But I was doing Spoon Man.
I was thinking Spoon Man, which I think is Soundgarden.
No. Is that Stone Temple?
Stone Temple STP?
Maybe.
I don't know. Somebody in chat will correct me, I'm sure.
The voice in my head, it does not sound like Chris Cornell to me, so I don't think so.
But there's. If I'm going to continue on because it seems Deo is solving a kerfuffle.
The dogs have killed him.
Season 1, well, the Hounds of Balthazar were summoned, so he's probably fighting an elite somewhere. The Season 1 memory boxes, Scarlet V Lion's Arch, and the Flame and Festivals, or did we talk about those? Or do we have to talk about the giant list of returning items?
Yeah, I'll save Dale from this for once. It's a huge list. So returning items. We have the returning items bank job package, 1,200 gems available till Tuesday. Basically, it has a bunch of awesome stuff in that package.
I'm gonna quote Inks. Everything is returning.
Everything is returning. Let me look up real quick what's in there.
Everything is now for sale.
I can't look it up right away. So there's also a character jumpstart package, which has 3,500 gems. And by the way, both those packages are available till Tuesday. I'm gonna save it. Dale, I'm gonna do it. So you can.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. But the character jumpstart pack has 10 transmutation charges, 10 experience boosters, 3 bag slot expansions, 3 set of gather Artron tools, and a copper-fed salvage-o-matic. So if you're buying the character jumpstart, don't buy a salvage-o-matic beforehand, because then you'll buy 2 and you'll feel bad. We also have the sports sunglasses. That's 150 gems. We have the fuzzy bear hat and the ringmaster hat. Those are both 200 gems. We have the fuzzy quaggan hat with bow, which is 200 gems. The bloodstone ascender, which is 250 gems. The shadow of the dragon helmet, shoulder, and glove skins, which are 300 gems each. We have Bram's wolf blood pauldrons, 300 gems. The shattered bloodstone glider, which is 400 gems. The classic gold glider, which is 400 gems. Mask of the Queen and Mask of the Jubilee, which are 400 gems each. We have the Shattered Bloodstone Circlet, which is 400 gems. We have the Swaggering Hat, which is 400 gems. The Spectral Glider, 500 gems. Glidertron, 500 gems. Chaos Gloveskins, 500 gems. Glowing Crimson Mask, 500 gems. Mersat Backpack Glider Combo, which is 500 gems, so you get the backpack and the glider. We have the Macaw Wings Glider Combo, which is 700 gems. Again, backpack and glider. Vine Touch Destroyer Glider Combo, 700 gems. Same thing. Ceremonial Plated Outfit, 700 gems. Cook Outfit, 700 gems. Actually, I'm just going to say these next tier are 700 gems.
There you go.
All the outfits.
So Crystal Savant Outfit, Daydreamer's Finery Outfit, Champion of Tyria Outfit, Harbinger of Mordramoth Outfit, Monk's Outfit, Mersat Robes are all 700 gems. The Phalanx Heavy Armor Skin, Trickster's Light Armor Skin, Viper's Medium Armor Skin, Zodiac Heavy Armor, Zodiac Light and Medium Armor Skins, Wedding are all 800 gems, and the Wedding Attire Outfit is 1,000 gems.
Oh, I was just tired from listening.
I'm sorry.
So I didn't hear you say, like, maybe you should go through that list again just in case, you know, some.
Oh yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But for people that maybe are new to the game, if it does say outfit or something along those lines, it doesn't require transmutation charges, but it does basically cover all your armor. You can hide the head slot or whatnot, but it is very limiting in that aspect compared to, I mean, some of the stuff that returned was also armor skins, which they do. You get one free transmute off of them, but from then on, you use transmutation charges, and you can kind of mix and match that kind of stuff. So there are pluses, but pluses and minuses to both.
Outfits are financially OP.
Yeah. If you miss any of that, by the way, just open up the gem store and go to the promotions tab. Everything is there.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I 100% recommend getting yourself the sports glasses.
Yes.
So you can tell people to deal with it.
I'm kind of partial to the Cook's outfit, male Norn. I hide the helmet piece, and I don't know, it kind of dies pretty nicely as like a casual gear, because like I said, because that one is specific for race, so it might be different for Sylvari and human and whatnot.
If you really care about like an outfit that's super great, the wedding attire outfit is probably the best outfit that has ever been designed for the system.
Yeah, just because it's unique per race and gender.
But that one is one of the ones where it is 1,000 gems compared to the other outfits that are 700. But like we said, that is race and gender specific. So
you're technically getting 10 different skins.
Yeah. And Magnus Godric, they usually give you at least one free one, but I can kind of understand why they don't use transmutation charges, because that kind of encourages people to either play WW or PvP or buy them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yep. Repeat purchase, like still making money off of it. I mean,
I would recommend the Monk's outfit if you're a Guild Wars 1 player.
Yes, 100%. I bought that one.
Even if you're not a Guild Wars 1 player, Monk's outfit.
It's a pretty good. Yeah, it's a pretty good kind of low key one.
Yeah, and Phalanx heavy armor and Viper's medium armor are also personal favorites of mine.
I was gonna say I've seen a lot of people use Phalanx heavy armor, or if they're using a medium class Vipers, in like kind of mixing and matching, like somewhere.
Yeah,
they'll use a piece. So
yeah, they're very nice.
Vipers.
I like the Viper's medium armor just because of the gloves and the chest piece. Because the gloves are kind of like a shorthand glove, and then you have a guard with has a snake on it, which is pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. Man, must be. I wish you could trade transmutation charges. I do not have 1.3 thousand.
They would be interesting if they were like a secondary currency for something.
No
they
more
are
currency.
Style.
No more. We have a lot of currency as it is, and they're going to add more.
You never have too much currency.
At least we don't have to manage a lot of it anymore.
Yeah.
This is true.
Though I don't know, it seems like we usually do, and then eventually they'll put it in the wallet. So, if it could go straight into the wallet, then yeah, sure, more currencies, but that does get kind of annoying. But
do need to do that right out from the beginning more often.
Yeah. Put the transmutation charges right in the wallet? Or is that
I think she's just saying currency in general, because a lot of times, like for like Living Story, we've had that in the past where it was like, oh, it can't go in the wallet. Then it was like after it wasn't as relevant. It's like, oh, we can put it in the wallet. It's like, why can't we? Like, I mean, I know time.
Yeah, it's just finding the time to actually do it.
Yeah.
Like the change where they standardized, like you can actually double click all the Living Story currencies, the Living Story mats, so that you can get the magic from them. That was a good quality of life change, but it took a while for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I just like, if they're putting in a new currency with a Living Story update, I feel like part of the development time for the story or whatever of the new currency is just putting it into the wallet. Like,
maybe that's why it's taking.
Not to do that.
Maybe that's why it's taking longer. They're trying to streamline that in so it can ship with it. Maybe
that's what the restructuring was.
Yeah, exactly.
Restructuring the putting things into the wallet team.
That would be a great team to be on.
It's like 30% of their developers. We need it in the wallet now. How do we fix this?
Well, I'm on the PTIT team. Thanks. The pit team.
Oh man, the chats remind me of all the stuff that doesn't, didn't go into the wall and stuff. Oh,
Well, that was to encourage us to use it, guys.
Yeah.
And Wispy, you're saying what I was literally thinking when Jim was retelling their reasoning behind it. But any other thoughts on the gem store? Last up, community corner. So this kind of, we talked about the sale that was continuing, and it seems like a lot of people in the community, I think even Guild Wars 2 have been tweeting it out, or retweeting some of the partners and whatnot. People are doing a lot of giveaways everywhere. So make sure to if anything, at least follow us. No, follow Guild Wars 2's official Twitter. Because they tend to like
us. What? No.
Well, you can too. I mean, while you're out there. But but the Guild Wars 2 Twitter will usually retweet a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Inks is giving away a date with me, so if you are the unlucky person, you might be able to come visit my stoop. For legal reasons, you will not be visiting my stoop.
Wow.
But there are a lot of partners I did not know about until now. Mind you, there are a lot of creative partners already, but I think there's like 50 plus. But yeah, there are a lot of them I didn't know about, so that's kind of neat to see.
Yeah, so definitely go check that out. Like I said, there's loads of tons of people, and we didn't mention it in I know we mentioned last week when they came out with the Welcome to GW2 deal, but definitely if you are planning on buying it, go support a partner or affiliate that has like the link. They get a little bit of kickback from the sale in the Guild Wars 2 store itself. People like Inks, there's Bog Otter, Peachy, I think Harold has one as well. I think Dolphy has one, like loads out there. I think Age has one, but he does make us say that he's not a partner, he's an affiliate.
I have to, like, it's just standard because people expect more from me, and like, no, I don't have gems. I'm sorry. I'll occasionally give away stuff from the gem store, sure, but
you can't just give away gems.
Like, if there was a way I could just say, hey, can I get like some gems for a giveaway? I would totally do that. But I don't think I can.
Yeah, like Chad's saying, any partner has one, so has a link, so
Yeah.
And anyone who is an affiliate, so there you go.
There you go.
Short and sweet. Last up, we have a video from the Herald. I always want to still call her the Crichton Herald, but she goes by the Herald now. So
yeah,
which actually, funny enough, they kind of addressed it. She actually did an interview with Inks, who's in chat right now. Maybe we can get behind the scenes exclusives. Were there any questions, Inks, that weren't put in the video? Scandalous. But yeah, basically it was in the background play had just footage from Inks's live. It looked like one of his live streams, and kind of just was a interview back and forth. But I do have to say, credit to the Herald. I at least I prefer this style of interviewing where it's not you. Of course, she probably had a list of questions. I'm sure she was prepared. But it was a conversation. And I think that's always the best in a podcast kind of a setting, because it wasn't
just
like
in general for interviewing. That's the best way to interview.
Well, I think when some people think of interviews, they think of like almost like news anchor interviews where they're just like, we're just here for the, give us your thoughts. You don't want to hear our thoughts. But in like a podcast or anything like that, where it's just like, she would chime in on her thoughts while, Inks did, provide his thoughts. It was a discussion back and forth. It wasn't just an interview with Inks. It was. Oh, cool. So yes, there was a 4-hour discussion. So is there like a unabridged version of the thing?
Hey,
Wow.
home networking and using Cat 6 and having to run wires? No, that's a good. I want to hear that conversation.
Right?
Tell me more, Inks.
We should protest that was cut.
Boo. Boo.
Yeesh.
Can we have like an outtakes? Then I'll go yay.
There you go. But
We
yeah,
demand outtakes.
yeah, it's definitely interesting to like listen to. I mean, I can't wait to see more with other people and whatnot. But it's definitely if you're a fan of, like I said, not only Inks but the Herald as well, because like I said, they both are talking about it. It's not just an interview with Inks. So you know, if you're a fan of either, or maybe you're branching out finding new content creators, it's a good way to, you know, get a feel for the person. But yeah, any final thoughts on the Herald's interview with Inks?
I'm gonna watch it either tonight or tomorrow.
Gotta find time to watch it, definitely.
Yeah, I was trying to listen to it. I listened to some of it earlier when I originally saw it earlier in the week, and then I tried to listen to the rest of it. And yeah, I did hear you guys talking about Star Wars, Inks.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten to see Solo yet? I know that was the one thing you haven't seen yet, but anyway, we'll have to talk about that during after show. Yeah, because that is it for this week. So, Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MalthanusMMO. You can also find me live here on twitch.tv/TalkingSkrit every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where I think I'm probably just going to postpone doing my placement matches or do them off camera for this week, because I think some Death Week WvW is probably too good to not stream. So as long as Arlie, can you join this week?
I should be able to, yeah.
Okay, just remember to do your reports. So that we can go, you know, yell screaming into the pirate ship.
Like,
Yeah, I might switch to a core power well necro just for the long range lulls. But
I thought the new PvP season was starting this week. Is that next week?
It is this week.
Oh, okay.
So like I said, I'm probably going to skip placement matches and just do WvW.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm with you now. I was like, huh?
Let's go full Soldier's Warrior. You have 30k health, and you cannot die.
Cool.
It's I've done it before. It took us an entire Zerg a good 10 seconds to actually catch up to me and kill me. It was great.
Wow.
Well, if they can catch up to you, if they can't catch up to you, how should they reach you, Age?
Oh, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Age Night Road. I put out a vlog this week. Yeah, this week. And I promised myself I'd make 2 videos in order to corner myself. So I'd be putting out an intro to Thief guide and kind of a state of the game for Guild Wars 2. It'll cover kind of the new player perspective versus the veteran perspective, which will be kind of interesting. And I do also plan to stream the World vs. World stuff either tonight or tomorrow in the morning before all the E3 stuff. So
Awesome. And Robin, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitch and Twitter at Arlie82. I've been streaming more regularly, so yay. Also, of course, I write for MMORPG.com and GameSpace.com, and I'm an editor for Guildmag now, so yay. I might be writing stuff for them sometimes too. So I'm all over the place.
It's hard not to find her, basically. If you do anything with Guild Wars 2, you're probably going to stumble across something she's working on, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you can find me at simply_Dale on Twitch and Twitter. And I know haven't really been streaming that much. Kind of been trying to hit it more hard on the weekends just because past couple weeks working on stuff that we're trying to get rolled out here. But also have been doing overtime at work each night. So hasn't been a lot of time to game personally. So, but hopefully a lot of that stuff will be released, and also less overtime. So hopefully get back into an on weekday streaming schedule. But yeah, maybe if we upload this quick enough, I'll probably try to stream maybe tonight something. But if you are popping at the very end, do stick around. We do a bit of an after show where we just talk about anything in general. If you want to watch this in its entirety, we do highlight it on Twitch. But if you do prefer, we throw it up on YouTube. That goes up on Sundays at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And hey, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to try to make it out for the live show, talking with everybody in chat, we go live 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And Twitch still thinks we're offline, so I cannot see the host. But once again, you know who you are, and maybe one day we'll be able to thank you again. But yeah, that is it for this week, and hopefully we'll have big news next week, and we'll see you in the game. Good night, everybody.